I'm kind of in that phase where I have to figure out which job I want to pursue, and I'm kind of struggling to figure it out, but I know God has a plan for me. Do you have any advice on how to know what the right path is? Talking to other people like you comforts me. Okay, so I've always been a person who has like a bajillion interests, and I hop around to them a lot. And in the past, I felt guilty for that because I'm like, why can't you focus on one thing and finish one thing? But I read this book called Why Greatness Cannot Be Planned. It literally changed my life. Probably the most impactful book I've ever read besides the Bible. The thesis of the book is that by trying, like if you set a goal for yourself and say, I'm going to do this, you actually are less likely to achieve that goal than if you just follow what interests you and hop from stepping stone to stepping stone. The bigger the goal, the more this applies. So for example, people like Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos, I'm not saying they're perfect people, but what I'm saying is they have changed the entire world. They've changed the course of human history. And they didn't do that by setting out to say, I'm going to change the course of human history. They just followed what was interesting to them and that they were passionate about. And the thing is, when you do that without pressure and fear of the future, this is where you have to like get rid of ego, get rid of fear of like failure. If you can get to that point where you just do stuff and follow your nose, it's going to create something that's so uniquely you that no one can replicate it. And that's how greatness happens. So like there's other stuff like airplanes and computers. Computers wouldn't be here if it weren't for vacuum tubes. And vacuum tubes weren't created for the computer. They were created in a completely different, unrelated field of science. When somebody was following what interested them, they created the vacuum tube and they thought, whoa, this could have massive applications elsewhere. The airplane is similar. So many huge inventions, writers, celebrities oftentimes attribute their success to something that's so unrelated to what they're doing right now. That was so freeing for me because it's like, oh, I'm not wasting my time. I'm following what interests me because it's calling to me at like a soul level. And that is going to manifest into something that's so uniquely me that no one can replicate it. And that is how you pursue greatness. Even if you're not trying to do something crazy amazing, I still think this principle applies of like, try to let go of ego, let go of fear, and do the right thing in this moment and do what's interesting to you in this moment and trust the outcome, trust God with the outcome. And I was looking, as I was reading through the Bible, looking for stuff like this, I realized, whoa, this actually happens to a lot of people in the Bible as well. And so I think pairing that with this concept of like, do what you can, do what you know you need to do right now. Try not to worry about what comes tomorrow, next week, next year, blah, blah, blah. I know our society is so hung up on that, but like, what's the best thing for you to do right now? If you are early stage in your career, in your journey, oftentimes the best things you can do are get rid of things that aren't serving you. So like spend less time on social media, get rid of video games, cut out friends who are toxic, actively like exercise more, like all these things you know you should either take away or are just good to do at a base level. You will start to turn into this person and start to put yourself in situations that will be favorable for you and the plan that God has for you in the long run. So like, for example, verse in Samuel where David meets the prophet. I don't remember exactly where it is in the Bible, but what's interesting is so many in the Bible, this happens to so many people like David. It says that when Samuel the prophet came to Jesse, David's dad, and said where, he went through his sons to try to anoint who was king. And he said, I can play while I speak. When he was trying to anoint the next king, he said, he went through all his sons and said, wait, is there another one? And Jesse was like, well, yeah, there's David, but David's David. And they went and got David. And the Bible says, clearly he was a skilled shepherd. It said something like, depending on the translation, it says like he was fine in appearance and in good health or something like that. And so you go, whoa, wait a minute. And it was clearly a man that had found favor with the Lord. And you go, whoa, wait a minute. David is doing this lowly job, but he's doing it to the best of his abilities. And then out of nowhere, a prophet comes to anoint him king. And that I felt like went so well with what that book was saying of like, you can't predict. It's impossible to recreate stuff like that. You simply cannot. The only thing you can do, it's impossible to try to guess where greatness is going to be. The best thing you can do is focus on the best thing to do right now with the things that you're given, and go from stepping stone to stepping stone. Follow that sweet smell of interestingness. And man, I can't tell you how impactful that's been for me. Like last year, I had a dream before I started making Minecraft content again. I had a dream at the end of like a month-long fast that I opened my analytics and saw 40,000 subscribers in YouTube Studio. And I was like, wait, what? And it made me really emotional, which was kind of surprising because I had just given up. Like I'd sold my computer to get away from video game addiction. I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to go back to YouTube, that I was going to try to do something else, something more, I guess, grass toucher, so to speak. And then I had that dream at the end of a fast and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. But I didn't go, oh, what do I have to do to become a massive YouTuber? I was like, wait, let me follow the sweet smell of interestingness. So I got up and I published one video talking about literally just me playing Minecraft, vanilla Minecraft, starting a survival world, and talking for a little bit about like, man, I really enjoy this channel. Like I really enjoy making YouTube videos, but they take so much time and like all this stuff, like literally just like me yapping about YouTube and whatever. Well, that video got seen by like 2,000 people, which was not that much, but they were super encouraging. They're like, we really loved your videos. We'd love to see you come back. And then because I started posting more, Schwepp reached out to me and he was like, bro, you have the skills. You should totally do it. So then I posted the no terrain video and took some of Schwepp's advice with that. And that was my first video to get more than 10,000 views in the Minecraft niche. And I was like, okay, wait a minute, maybe there's something here. So then I published my season 1 Perfect Start Hardcore. That did even better. That got like 30, 40, 50,000 views early on. And I was like, okay, wow, like it's actually growing. It's not something crazy yet, but it's growing. And then I had the idea for Mega Village. And I was like, okay, let's make the Mega Village. Boom, 1.2 million views, number 55 most hyped video in America, completely launches my career. And simply because one thing at a time, I followed the sweet smell of interestingness.